Hey, what's up guys? Jeffrey Winzenried here, and this is Trailtime Confessions, episode 5 of the Road to Uncovery series. And I'm here, alive and well, walking the long dirt line on the pacificcresttrail. Today is October 8th, 2019. And I have gnats flying around my head, annoying as shit right now. So I'm gonna do my best to stay focused and not let the emotion of frustration and anger get to me while I'm doing this video. Oh man, so I am in the desert. I have roughly, I am under 300 now, so I'm under 300 miles left remaining on my trek. So I got to get off my ass and finish this series before I actually finish the trek. So today's topic, as we move through meandering through my life and talking about the 6 basic human needs that we all share as humans. This episode is going to be about significance. And significance is the 3rd basic human need that we all share. The first one is certainty, just to recap for you guys. Certainty, which is comfort, running to comfort and avoidance of chaos and pain. And then you have the flip side of that coin, which is uncertainty, or variety, or adventure, or difference, or newness, or fun. And now we're gonna switch hands and add in another coin, because to every coin is 2 sides. And excuse me while I try to get past this river. So I'm climbing over, I don't know what stream, creek this is right now, but just crossed it. Okay, back on trail. Significance is the 3rd basic human need that we share as humans. And the flip side of that coin is connection and love. And so significance is about uniqueness, the individual, trying to be individualistic, trying to be different. It does also help to fill the need of being needed or wanted. So if you think about that, I want you to jot down, this is really freaking challenging right now. I want you to think about things that you do in your life that make you feel significant, that make you feel like an individual, that make you feel unique or different. Some examples may be style, how you dress, piercings. Piercings where maybe you only want certain people to know. But again, it makes you feel significant. Could be achievement. So maybe you go hike the PCT. Or you build something that makes you feel significant. Okay? Now, the opposite or paradox, the flip side of this coin, is connection and love. And so the reason there's connection and love is because connection is more of a surface level need that will be fulfilled. Love is deeper, obviously, right? Now, most of us settle for the crumbs of connection because we have been hurt. We have had our heart broken. There's pain there, there's suffering, there's agony. And with that comes your fortress in your head. The walls that you put up to protect yourself from getting hurt again. Based on your past experiences, man, I'm walking through the freaking jungle right now. Past experiences and how those people in your life that you opened up your heart to, how they made you feel when they broke your heart. That's protection. That's putting up walls. Just one example of how we do that. So I get it. You know, my heart's been broke. I've put up walls myself, and I've been working diligently to break those walls down, brick by brick. And if you looked at my post yesterday, it was actually, man, this whole trip has just been so significant in everything that it's been teaching me. And I mean that with the utmost authenticity. I have learned so much about myself, about these freaking bugs flying around my head. And yesterday, I should say the day before, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here, talk about emotion, which has to do with a lot about the post that I made today about negative emotions. And feelings and needs are intertwined. They are connected, right? Your feelings, your emotions are telling a story about you, about what's driving you, about what's important to you, about what needs that you prioritize first and second in your life and last. So as I dive into emotion, I want you to think about what emotions are driving you, what emotions are making you feel the way that you do. Emotions are the driving force of life. And I know myself, I've struggled with, at least in the past, being able to express my emotions, being able to tell another person, articulate how I feel, significant others, relationships, and that has caused conflict. It has caused pain, suffering in my life, and I know it's caused pain and conflict in the lives of the people that have been in my life too, and I'm sorry for that. I've sat with these emotions here on the trail over the last 4 months and thought a lot about, reflected on my course of action over my adult years, and thought how I could have made different decisions, how I could have reacted differently, how I could have expressed how I feel, and thought a lot about the outcomes of what would have happened, you know, if I would have made a different decision, if I would have acted differently, if my behavior was perceived differently. Now, I said this in the last video, our behavior is a reflection of us being able to try and fulfill our needs. So if you really think about that, what's driving you? And if emotion is the driver of life, we need to start with emotion. We need to start with emotional intelligence. We need to start with the intellect of emotion and understanding what these emotions do to us and why they make us feel the way we do. And if you don't like an emotion, if it makes you feel bad and sad and fearful and worried and anxious, think of it as a motivator to take action. Think of it as a motivator to change. It's your brain telling you, sending you a text message that you need to get off your ass and make a decision. You need to get off your ass and do something. So I think what happens in life when things happen to us and because of us over and over and over and over again, the overlying emotion that we sit with tends to dominate our life, and we see it everywhere. And I know this specifically because I had to do it. You have to do something that completely knocks you off balance, to completely wash clean all of your needs and your feelings so that you can renew, refresh your life, and be the person that you're meant to be. And that starts with emotion. And so I needed to do something. You, I'm sure, have people in your life that are like gnats, always trying to get in every single orifice. Man, these things are relentless. Sorry. Okay, back to my train of thought. When this past year, the first half of the year, was a lot of emotion for me. It was very frustrating. I had a lot of anger, frustration, disappointment, failure, regret. All these feelings made me pretty numb. And I led my business with emotion. I led my business with my heart. And because of that, I made certain decisions that affected my behavior, affected decisions I made within the business, and it affected decisions in my relationships with my clients and my personal and romantic relationships as well. And my point here is that because of all of these emotions over this first half of the year, January through June, and actually it started about 3 years before that. This journey didn't start with the PCT, everyone. It started probably about 3.5 years ago. So I just led with my heart for a long time, and it put me into a box, and I was stuck and essentially left with no other choice but to shut my business down and to make the biggest significant change in my life. And all of that happened within 3 weeks. So I hit a tipping point in May that there was really no point of return. I had no other choice but to shut my business down. Now, if you know me, and you know everything that I've put into my business over the last 10 years and how I've been able to cultivate growth within my company, within myself, within clients. My business helped to fill a lot of my needs, if not all of them. And if you find something in life that meets 3 of your needs, the likelihood of you becoming addicted to that is very high. If you find something that fulfills all 6 needs, you will become addicted to it. And my business was that. It was something that fulfilled all of my needs. And I can relate to my time here on the PCT, because the PCT in my journey here is also filling all of my needs and all the feelings that come along with it. And it's pretty freaking awesome. And you can see why I have so much passion for nature, for love, for connection, for significance, for certainty, for uncertainty, for growth and contribution. I get certainty out here on the trail by forming routines in my daily habits, by having structure in how I approach the trail every single day. It makes me feel certain that when I do these videos, that I'm helping people, that I'm able to get my story out so that people feel connected to me and I feel connected to them, fulfilling the need of connection. Doing videos, these videos, helps to fulfill uncertainty or variety, because I'm doing something different every single time that I do a video. Significance, the topic of conversation today. How does doing videos like this make me feel significant? Well, being on camera, I've been on the news 40 plus times in my tenure of owning my business, which is pretty awesome, I think, for various topics. Being on camera makes me feel significant. It makes me feel unique. It makes me feel different. And it makes me feel connected, like I said. Doesn't necessarily make me feel loved. And that's how you can see where doing something like this is surface level, in that sense, that it's temporary. It's a temporary fix to fulfill that need of connection and love. So your percentage, or how you rate fulfillment, may be a little bit lower on a temporary fix, right? Doing videos fills my need of growth, because I'm learning something about myself as I talk to you guys. The same thing as being a coach or a trainer. I learn more by teaching than I think, and this is true, I'm sure a lot of teachers can relate, that by teaching, you learn more about the subject that you're teaching than what you're actually trying to teach. That the person receiving the information is benefiting, but you're ultimately benefiting as well, because you learn so much by teaching and helping other people. And doing videos like this, telling you about my life and trying to educate you guys, and hopefully a little bit of entertainment too, is my way to contribute back, to give back, to express how my experiences in life have changed me, how the PCT has changed me, how the PCT and my journey here and all of my experiences, including these gnats flying around my head, has made me a better person. A better person. And that makes me feel pretty freaking awesome. And emotion and these needs, the reason I'm stressing this so much is because one of the things that I've figured out here on the trail about fitness, about helping people, about teaching people, a lot of trainers and gyms, they do it wrong. They're not getting it right with helping people. And most people go to a gym because they want to make change in their life. And what's happening is that they are really addressing surface level temporary fixes. They're not addressing the emotion, they're not addressing the need, and they're not addressing their habits. And if you want to kick a habit like smoking, you have to replace it with a new habit. Because there's a void and there's a vacuum with habits. And I think we have a limit, we have a threshold as far as how many habits and structured things that we can have in our life. So choose wisely the habits that you want in your life. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling unhappy with yourself, ask yourself, are all of my needs being met? And if you feel that they are, just know that achievement, success, is surface level. To really be happy, to really feel joy and bliss, those needs have to be almost completely met in order for you to move up to those spiritual levels where happiness, joy, and bliss are the feelings that are innate, that are inherent when these feelings are being met, or these needs are being met. So growth. What are things in your life that you can do to grow? What water, how much water are you pouring on your tree? And what are you going to do with that growth? What are you going to do with the things that you learned? How are you going to contribute? How are you going to help people? How are you going to do something that is going to be for the greater good of humanity and yourself and other people and the planet? Making change, especially for yourself, can be really freaking hard. Trust me, I know. The one thing that I have been fearless of, and I shouldn't say that 100%, but I do pride myself. I do feel significant when I take action. And that is probably one of my strong character traits, is that I do take very decisive action. I think about it, I process the information, I make the decision, I live with it, and I adjust as I move forward. And I think that is a very positive thing to do in life. You know, sitting in regret, sitting in, the feelings of, should I do this, should I do that? Or what will happen if I do this? And if you think about relationships, romantic relationships, how many of you guys have been in a relationship for way too long? A lot of us have stayed because of the fear of uncertainty, the fear of hope, the fear of, if we break up, I'm going to be lonely, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be the uncertainty is going to make me go crazy. And so when you have too much uncertainty, you have chaos, you have freak out. And that's why there has to be balance. There has to be balance, and especially in relationships, because again, if you have too much certainty, you have boredom. If you have too much prediction, you have boredom. But on the flip side, if you have too much uncertainty, people freak out, especially the people who, if your partner, especially if your partner has certainty as their number one. If uncertainty and variety is your partner's number one, and they're going out drinking every night and partying and doing all this crazy stuff and not giving you certainty back, uncertainty's not going to sit very well. And people will freak out. I know myself, I've done it. And that's okay. Being able to recognize this is growth. Being able to understand my feelings and needs is growth. And with that comes change. It comes with the ability to take something that you don't like in your life about yourself, use that negative emotion as a motivator to start moving, to change your state, your physiology, and then concentrate your attention onto something, which is something I am very, very good at. I have laser focus when it comes to execution. And that can be intimidating for a lot of people. That can be misunderstood as aggression or arrogance, but it's not. It's just intensity. It's passion. It is a laser focus that I have. Significance is also one of my strengths. I have dove into Strength Finders, Gallup, over the past year and a half as part of my personal development, as part of my growth. Learning about yourself, doing something to make yourself better is significant. Knowing something, having a doctor before your name is significant. So again, start thinking about things that you do in your life that make you feel significant. And just know that if you're too different, if you're too separated, if you're too individualistic, there will be a violation of the fourth need, connection and love. Because if you're too significant, and you know these people, they are taking selfies every single day, trying to make themselves feel significant. So there's nothing wrong with selfies. I do it too. But there comes a point when it is too much. It is obsessive, right? I'm sure that actors and people in the spotlight can relate to the lack of connection and love. Because you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go see a movie, you can't go do the things that help to fulfill your basic human needs. And it violates the need of connection, because being too significant in life, being too different, being too separated creates a gap. It creates distance. And it makes you feel less connected. And so when I was shutting my business down, having to make decisive, intense, focused decisions, I know that some of these decisions didn't sit very well with clients, staff, and I'm sorry that I had to do what I had to do. I didn't do the things I did to hurt anybody. I didn't make these decisions to intentionally make people feel bad or angry or frustrated or sad. And I'm sorry. I am. And I've sat with those emotions, I've sat with those feelings, I've sat with the reflection. And understanding all of that now on the trail has really helped me move forward. And so you can see how having an appreciation for these feelings, having an appreciation for quote unquote negative feelings and emotions is so important, because it teaches us valuable lessons in life. It teaches us what we need to do to take action. And so if you think about anger as a feeling, what is anger? It is certainty. I can guarantee you feel certain when you get angry, right? And so if certainty is your dominant need, anger can be a very negative or disempowering vehicle. And we all know those people who constantly complain, constantly are upset about something, about somebody that fucking flipped them off or cut them off or canceled their fucking class or whatever. And they need to complain about it. You know what? I get it. It makes you feel significant. And it also makes you feel unfulfilled, because it is a very temporary fix. So again, my whole point here in trying to help you guys understand the emotional intelligence in relation to your life and how these 6 basic human needs affect your decisions. This is why I'm talking to you guys, so that I can help you guys understand the intellect about how you feel. It's so important. And what I figured out being here on the trail and really reflecting and thinking about fitness and helping people and coaching people, as my business was shutting down, we whittled our membership down to our core group of raving fans. The people who didn't necessarily need a significant push. They had a drive. They had an emotion in them. They had an addiction to this feeling, because the gym, Monkey Bar Gym, and not just my gym, but fitness in general, can help to fulfill all of your needs, which is pretty cool and awesome to think about. And getting people to that point and that place in their life that is where I needed to start. I needed to start with understanding my own emotion, understanding how decisions affected my life and how that made me feel, and what was also driving me. So if I can get in my head, think about these feelings, understand them, I'm able to get inside your head and help coach you and help you be a better person help you make better decisions in your life so that you can be happy too. Really fucking happy. Because that's what it's all about. It's about laughing. Nobody wants to be upset and angry and flotting friggin' gnats and flies away from your head all friggin' day. Nobody wants that, right? We all want to be happy. We all want to feel good. We all want to love. We all want to be in relationships. We all want to grow. We all want to be individual. So you should never, ever lose that in a relationship. And you should support your partner for being individual. It's okay to be one. It's okay to have a relationship that is built. A relationship has to be built on trust and loyalty. But you can't push. Relationships are a pull. It's acceptance, it's receiving. And in order to give to another person, you have to be willing to accept as well. And in order to receive and give, you have to have all of your needs being met. And that's a really hard place to get to. And I get it. I understand. Life is tough. Life fucking sucks sometimes. It does. I get it. And relationships can suck too. People can make you unhappy. People can make you frustrated. People can make you angry. But if you really think about it, is it the other person that is making you angry? Is it the other person that is making you feel anxious or worried or frustrated? Or is it you? I think it's you. I think it's me. It's all of us. It's never about the other person. So getting to a point where you can understand that is so important, right? So relationships are important in our lives. Love, connection, certainty, uncertainty, significance is all important. Growth, the need to learn, the need to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. And when you grow, you have to be able to contribute. Or at least you should. You should want to. Because that is the top level. That is what we should all strive for, is contribute. Contributing love to our partner. And emotions can get in the way with that. Like I said in the beginning, we put up walls, we put up these fortresses in our minds built with bricks, with pain and suffering and regret all written on them. So how do you break these walls down? How do you get to the point where these walls don't matter anymore? Forgiveness, empathy for yourself, hearing that is important in the process, that you can actually forgive yourself. Lack of judgment. And I also think that you need to do something that, like I said in the beginning, kicks you off balance. That dissolves your ego, that dissolves any of these feelings to make them feel so insignificant that you have no other choice but to feel openness, humility. And I have felt that 100% here on the trail. And that's why I know that I'm ready to move forward. That I'm ready to contribute. that all of my needs are being met. And it's not up to anybody else to fulfill these needs but you. You can't blame somebody else in a relationship for lacking to help to fulfill your needs. They're your fucking needs, so you need to fill them. You need to do something in your life that helps you fulfill your needs. And your partner needs to respect that. And they need to appreciate that as well. And this feeling that I have right now, I want it to be permanent. I do. And I really hope it is. But I don't know if it will be. I am going to experience a lot of uncertainty in my life moving forward. Death, pain, breakups. Hopefully the next relationship that I get into is the one that lasts forever. Because that's what I want. I want to find and be with that special person. And because I'm at a point in my life now where the timing is there, that my needs right now are 100% met, or 99.9.9.9% met, because I did it. I filled up all these damn cups. I am in a point where I can be open. I can open my heart to receive the love that I deserve. And I want you to get to the point, that same exact point as well, so that you can either find your special person and be with them, or you can just be happy with yourself. And that's an awesome place to be. It is. And that's why I keep doing these videos, because I know what it feels like right now. And I want to share that with you guys. I want to influence you guys to have that same feeling. I want to be able to coach you. I want to be able to help you be a better person. And I knew that in order for me to help anybody else the way that I feel they should be helped, I needed to help myself first. I needed to go through that same process of breakdown and finding the beauty in that, and overcoming all of my personal limitations and hurdling the obstacles so that I could break through. I needed to feel every single emotion in order for me to be able to articulate and express how I feel to other people. Understanding that about myself really helps me to be able to understand emotion and needs of other people, which is going to make every single relationship that I'm in, that I have in my life, the people that I'm connected with, it's going to make that experience together far richer, more appreciated, and more grounded. And I want that for you guys as well. So, getting back to significance. Things that I've done in my life to make me feel significant. Let me give you some examples. In 2002 and 2004, I was 18 and 21. I became obsessed with bodybuilding. I became obsessed with fitness, and it was one of the big motivators for me to want to become a personal trainer. The transformation was amazing. Being able to take your body from one point and bring it to another with goals and expectations and objectives all being met. And then getting on stage to compete, to express in every way possible your pride and the feelings of achievement. And it may be a little silly up there in a little Speedo, bikini thong, all lathered up with oil, well, not too much oil, and having a tanned body. It is a little silly, but it taught me some pretty awesome lessons about my needs and how to transform other people. So that's one example of something I did in my life that was a transformation that made me feel significant. Starting my business and everything that was involved with that, all the build outs, you know, especially the third ward build out, you know, that took 4 months of me, 18-hour days, grinding, pulling my hair out, losing weight, not eating, being unhealthy, getting hurt, getting, you know, having repetitive movement just wreck my body, feeling pain. But I knew what I needed to do to get through to accomplish the goal at the end. That laser focus that I had to accomplish that helped me achieve it. And when I was done, it really made me feel significant because I was able to accomplish something that not a lot of people have been able to do. And I'm grateful for that. I appreciate all the hard work and the time that I put in. And I was 100% certain that I was going to do it. And so, right now, being on the trail, I have less feelings of significance. I still do. We're always going to have these needs. But doing the PCT, especially in the beginning, maybe was about significance, about accomplishing the goal, which it still is. But what it actually turned into, because being out here, being in nature, is about connection. It's about love. If you are lacking connection and love in your life, ask yourself, what are you doing in your life that is significant? And are you doing too much of it? And if you want connection and love, I can guarantee if you come out and climb a mountain, you will feel insignificant. It is almost impossible. Yes, there's achievement in that. But the pure beauty of nature and the feelings that rush in being out in nature is pure bliss. It is pure connection. It is pure love. And that is what I needed. That is why I left for the trail. Shutting down my business made me feel very insignificant. It made me feel less connected It made me feel like a failure. It gave me certainty, that's for sure. I was certain I had to shut the business down. And I lived with a lot of uncertainty for a long time, 3+ years. You know, the membership was dropping and there was nothing I could do. I mean, there was everything that I could do, but nothing worked. Nothing worked like I wanted it to. Nothing actually stuck. And that was very frustrating. And so I lived with a lot of uncertainty towards the end. You know, the first half of this year, which also was a driver for me to do the PCT, because I knew I was going to work my ass off. I knew that there was going to be pain, but the pain was different. It was different from the pain of agony of defeat. The pain had to do with growth and growing pains, which is good pain. And so coming out here gave me some certainty, because I knew doing the trail would make me feel whole again. It would make me feel like I was significant, that getting to the end, that accomplishment. And doing the trail, I think most importantly, and what it turned into, and what I value most about my experiences here on the trail, is my connection to people. Especially my brother and Ashley, and my experience that I had with them here on the trail. It changed my life. And we were able to connect on such a deep level that I've never experienced that in my entire life. And I fell in love with it. It is amazing. And I want everybody to have that same feeling. The feeling is addictive, I'm telling you. And it makes me so happy. So, in conclusion, I hope that you have a better understanding of significance in your life. And just remember that if you have too much significance in your life, it will violate the fourth basic human need, which is connection and love. So it is important to have difference, to have individualistic traits about yourself. It is important to be unique. But you don't want to be so different that it creates separation. Because remember that connection and love is what we all are searching for. It's fucking nuts. Man, it seems like if I can get out of the shade, maybe they go away. I don't think they like the sun too much. I appreciate you guys watching the full length of this hour-long video, which I know can be pretty difficult to sit with. But in order for me to actually get out all the content, I need to freaking talk. I need to rant. I need to move. I need to feel. I need to be swatting these friggin' gnats away so that I can get out how I'm feeling and get out the words so that they make sense to you. So, if I can give you some words of wisdom for today, sit with all of your emotion, seek to understand them, and start to recognize patterns of behavior. And if you want to make those patterns change, you have to take action. And in order to take action, you have to change your state. And in order to change your state, you have to change your perceptions, your physiology, and your focus. So I want you to go out today and make big change in your life, and try to make big change in other people's lives too. All right, guys, that is a wrap for today. Again, I appreciate you guys watching me, supporting me, and helping me swat these freaking gnats away from my face. Nobody likes a buzzing gnat around your head. So you guys take care. Have a great rest of your day. And till next time, which we'll be talking about connection and love, this is Trailtime Confessions. Later.